Alright guys, how you doing? Diesel Freak here. Hey, I wanted to make a little update video on my everyday carry pistol and talk to you a little bit about why I chose this Canik 55 TP9 as my everyday carry. Um, Price point was right. It's a full-size gun. Let me safety clear it. Empty. One of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is because it was because of YouTube that helped me make the decision to purchase this particular brand of firearm. And but what was lacking was a long-term use video. So there's a lot of unboxing videos. There's a lot of short reviews about the durability and performance of this gun, and those were great selling points. And it was because of those videos that I decided to buy this gun as opposed to like a Glock or a Smith & Wesson. That being said, there's very little that I didn't find any videos that showed the long-term durability of this gun after say 1,000 to 1,500 rounds or more. I bought this gun in December of 2013, and I've got approximately 1,500 rounds through it since then. It's what, May now, 2014. So I've got a few rounds through it. I wanted to just talk a little bit about some of the things I like about the gun and some of the things I don't like about it. Whether you conceal carry or open carry, if you're going to carry a gun, you are duty bound to be proficient in the use and handling of that gun. So, once I made the decision that I was going to do that, it was important that I spend ample amount of time at the range and familiarize myself with the gun. And like I said, in the last 6 months, nearly 1,500 rounds, I think I've done due diligence. There's not a whole lot of bad things I can say about the gun. I mean, I could carry this thing every day. Whether I leave the house or not, I carry this every day. And if you really want to know why, message me and I'll tell you why I carry it around the house. My early warning system is going off. I'll be right back. Okay, probably the first need, if you're going to carry a gun, probably the first thing you need to decide is, are you going to open carry or are you going to conceal carry? And that's really going to determine what kind of firearm you're going to purchase. To give you an idea of what I'm talking about, there's no way this is going in my waistband. I'm not going to be able to conceal this. It's a full-size gun. That and it's a double stack. It's pretty thick. So it's not going to be a practical gun to conceal. And when I was looking at different firearms, I was kind of weighing the advantage and the disadvantage of open carrying versus concealed carrying. And I was looking at a Sky 9mm, which is a compact concealed carry gun. And that's a pretty budget-minded gun. It's less than $300, and I might still pull the trigger on, pun intended, might pull the trigger on that purchase. But for me, I'm kind of a rebel anyway, and I'm kind of like, if you're going to open carry a pistol, expect some flack from the anti-gunners out there. And I'm fortunate I live in a pretty rural community that doesn't shun open carry, and I'm fortunate. And I live in a free state that encourages people to own and bear firearms. You might not be that fortunate, so that's something to consider. That's really going to determine what kind of gun you're going to purchase, is whether you're going to open versus conceal carry. To me, one of the things that was important to me was capacity. I wanted to have as many rounds that I could comfortably carry. The worst thing you can do is get in a gunfight. God forbid if you're ever in a position to be in a gunfight and run out of ammunition. So capacity is an important thing. Dependability. You can get a gun for a lot cheaper than $400, but do you want to trust your life to a high point $150 gun? Maybe you do, but I want a little more dependability than that. So after looking on YouTube and looking at some forums and seeing what people had to say about the Canik, I went ahead and purchased the gun. After about a month and a half, 2 months, I took my wife out. She shot it. She liked it. She goes, I want one. So we bought another one in February. And you know, I go out and I shoot probably at least once a week, and I run at least a box of rounds through the gun, at least 50 rounds, sometimes more. If I have powder available, I reload and I'll shoot a little bit more. But on average, 50 rounds a week seems about right. And hey, it's performed flawlessly. For a carry gun that gets carried every day out in the open, you know, around the house, whatnot, it's held up pretty good. It's a coated gun. It's not I think it's Cerakote. I'm not sure what they use, but it's some kind of a coating on it. It's a polymer gun, stainless steel slide, polymer lower, cold forged. Chrome line barrel, 4 inches in length. It's a striker fire gun, but one of the big selling points was the trigger, and we'll go through that right now. It's a double action, single action firearm. So go through that trigger. If you look at the striker indicator here, that's indicates that the gun is cocked and in single action mode. And in this configuration, you can carry the gun with a round in the chamber. As long as the trigger is in a forward position like this, you can safely carry that gun like that. I don't carry with one in a round. I've trained to carry the gun decocked and a full magazine, but not a round in the chamber. And I just trained to rack a round in when I extract the gun from the holster. But in this configuration, you can carry it safely. And what I like about the trigger is that when you got the striker indicator in the red and the trigger all the way forward, you pull it, and it's about 1.5 pound trigger pull the first 2/3 of its travel, and you'll hear it click. And now the hammer is locked in the rear position and is ready to fire. I would not carry the gun in this configuration. It's not safe. But with the trigger in the rear position, it's about a 5-pound trigger pull. Half the travel is taking up in slack. But as soon as you meet resistance, it's about a 5-pound trigger pull, and then there's a nice clean break. What I like about this trigger is the reset. With the gun cycles, check out the reset on this. It's reset. Nice, crisp, clean, reset. Yeah, that's nice. And then if if you don't want to carry it around cocked, you got this big black lever. It's probably not as predominant on the black gun, but on this tan it sticks out like a dick in a Disney movie. You got this big black button. It's ambidextrous. So you can push it from either side or from the top, and this decocks the gun, rendering the thing. Now it's in double action. If there's a round in the chamber, it will fire every time you pull the trigger. It doesn't matter if it's single or double action. With double action, it's about a 10-pound pull. So, yeah, that's what I like about this gun is the trigger. As far as durability, the coating is wearing a little excessively due to it's not a real tight fit in the holster, and it tends to rattle when you walk. And that's one of the down points of this thing. I like the holster, don't get me wrong, but well, let's take a look at my wife's doing here. See what I'm talking about? So it's kind of like wearing spurs. You can't walk without making noise. And if you look at the end, you can see the slop in there. I don't know what to do to remedy that. Maybe put some moleskin on the inside of it or whatever. But I kind of figured it would get some kind of rash. And for $45, I can have the gun recoated anyway. But as far as the exterior, and that's mostly down around the sharp edges, it's wearing pretty good. To break the gun down is pretty simple. All right, so to break this thing down, you if we can do this. It's kind of hard working around the camera. To break this thing down, you push back a little bit and center these little, there's a tab on both sides. That's your takedown lever. Center that slot. Up with that. Push down. And then just slide it forward. Comes apart. Take out the recoil spring. This is that side goes towards the front and that side goes towards the back. And then of course the barrel. You see the bluing, whatever the coating is on there is wearing off, where it engages and disengages the slide. But you can see the rash. Yeah, you can see the rash on the barrel, and that's just from the holster. But other than that, no complaints. I'm nitpicking. Like I said, you know, you know, if you look at my wife's gun, it stays in the case, so it looks like brand new. The other thing that I noticed too is that this rear sight, and I compared this with my wife's gun. Hers is nice and tight, but after 1,500 rounds, this rear sight is starting to, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Yeah, it's a little bit loose. This sight is adjustable for windage, but not elevation, and it does come with a couple extra front sights. You got the special tool to take it out too. But let me take you out macro. But for the most part, this gun has performed beyond my expectations. Not a single failure to feed, not a single failure to extract, not a single failure to fire. It's just been an all-around awesome gun. I can't even say that about my Anaconda. For some reason, my Anaconda doesn't like Winchester pistol primers. So here she is. Canik TP9, chambered in 9mm. I heard rumors that they're thinking of releasing this in 40, but as of today, I just checked Sentry's website, and there's no mention of it on Sentry's site. This is manufactured in Turkey by, you can find out, just go on YouTube and research the company that manufactures this gun. But the manufacturer makes firearms for the military and law enforcement in Turkey. So they use same quality standards that we use here in the United States. Price point on this gun is about 350 bucks. I checked just recently, $330 on Cheaper Than Dirt for this gun, and it comes in, but it comes in tan, OD green, chrome, standard black, titanium, which is the finish on my wife's gun, and they also have a black and stainless variant. Here's my wife's Canik. That's in titanium. There's desert tan, titanium, and you have a choice of either a paddle or a belt loop to attach to this holster, and it's a rigid holster. It's I think it's probably a reinforced injection molded plastic. It has the Canik logo up in the top. Well, one feature I like about this is that it has this locking mechanism here. You can't pull the gun out of the holster unless you push on this button. And the great thing about having to push this button when you extract it from the holster is it creates that muscle memory of proper finger placement on the side of the gun. There's nothing that makes me cringe more than to see somebody grab a pistol, especially a loaded pistol, and put their finger in the trigger guard while they're waving the gun around, pointing it at themselves and pointing it at their leg. And it's like, dude, really? Get your finger up at the side of the gun where it belongs. But, you know, that feature I like. What I don't like about this holster is that it's not, you know, a tight fit. I think maybe I need to get some moleskin or something and line the inside of that. But yeah, I'm nitpicking now. Here's what you get for your money. Like I said, for less than 400 bucks. Comes in a nice case. Got the paddle or the belt loop for the holster. Comes with some instruction manual. It comes with a couple extra front sights and tools to adjust the rear sight and remove the front sight. The obligatory gun lock, cleaning kit. There's a barrel brush and a cleaning rod. Comes with a loader, and I tell you what, you'll be glad you had this when you're putting those last few rounds in it. And I'm sure you're probably familiar with these, but especially that 18th round, you just slide it in there like that and push down on it. And that allows you to get the heel of the bullet in there. Pretty cool. Extra magazine, extra back strap. For those guys that have huge hands, you got a little bit thicker back strap there that just fills up the beaver tail a little bit. So yeah, for 330 bucks, I mean, pretty good value. And manufactured by Canik, imported by Century Arms. And if you're in the market for even if you're in the market just for a little range gun, something to plank with, and don't want to wear out your Glock or your shield, I don't know if I'd call it a budget gun, but it's less than 400 bucks. So, not a single failure to feed, not a single failure to extract, and no light primer strikes. I mean, this gun has performed flawlessly, and I would expect it to continue to do so. So, there it is. Canik 55, TP9, chambered 9mm. Good gun. Thanks for watching.